This is a super easy winter transition. After watching this video, you can create it yourself in Adobe After Effects and set it up in OBS. Stick around till the end to get the best possible out of this video, and don't miss out on how to make your stream more appealing and descriptive. The stream overlay shown in the background, its setup as well as great animated alerts I have shown and explained to you extensively in the previous two videos. If you haven't seen those videos yet, be sure to check them out ASAP. So let's get started in After Effects. First, create a white solid. Rotate the layer 270 degrees and scale it up so that it fills the entire canvas. Then go to the Effects panel and look for the Particle System 2 effect. Apply the effect to the solid. Then we need to make a few adjustments to the effect. First, change the animation to jet sideways. Then change the birth and depth color to white. The radius X is 100 and the max opacity is 100 as well. As random seed I use the number 467, but it's up to you here. Then you have to change the Y position to 14 and the effect settings are done. Now it's time for the keyframes. First we animate the birth rate. This is set to 0 for frame 0 and is set to 20 for second 1. Then the value doesn't change for 1 second and drops back to 0 in the following second. To make the background completely white, I will add a white background. So create another white solid and apply the linear wipe effect to the layer. Then we want to animate this layer. The transition completion should be 100 at second 0 and 0 at second 1. So create the corresponding two keyframes. The wipe angle should be 270 degrees. In addition, the feather effect is 1000, but it is important that the layer is only faded in from second 1. Therefore, shift the keyframes by 1 second. Then cut the layer at second 2 to animate the fade out of the layer. Time reverse the keyframes and change the wipe angle to 90. Also, you need to animate the transparency of the layers. Let it increase from 0 to 100 as the animation continues and let it decrease from 100 to 0 in the second layer as this layer fades out. Now let's look at the speed graphs of the keyframes. I easy ease all the keyframes of the bottom two layers by pressing F9. Those of the particle effect get easy eased first and then arranged like this. With this, the basic framework is complete. Now we want to display our logo in the middle of the transition. For this I used a simple version of my logo so that it doesn't stand out too much from the snow. To show the logo, I duplicate the two background layers and pre-compose them. Then I insert my logo. I adjust this so that it appears in the time interval of 50 frames each before and after the cut of the top two layers. Then I change the blending mode of all layers to a stencil alpha. Now create another solid, but this one is a little darker than the snow, so it's light gray. Drag it all the way down so that it is clipped by all the layers above it. The layer should be shown only as long as my logo is visible. Then animate the position of the logo. So create two keyframes about the same distance from the center so the logo moves a bit with the snow. Now I apply a drop shadow to the pre-composition. I change its softness to 30 and increase the distance a bit. The color is a slightly darker gray. Now we just have to add the appropriate sound effects. I use a wind sound effect I found on pixabay.com and a Christmas lo-fi melody in the background from Panda Beats. I adjust the wind sound effect so that it fires up with the animation. and the music so that the transition is accompanied by a soft melody. To make the music or sound effects fade in softly as well, I animate the volume of the two layers. In intervals of half a second each, I let the volume change from -10 decibels to 0 or 0 to -10 decibels. Now you can add the animation to the Adobe Media Encoder queue. Change the format here to WebM. If you can't find the format, you can download it from this website and install it. Before rendering, make sure that you have checked the Include Alpha Channel box. Otherwise, you won't get a transparent background. Once the rendering process is complete, we can move over to OBS. Here you need to go to the Scene Transition tab and click on the plus icon. Then select Stinger and a new window should pop up. Select the file you just created and change the audio monitoring to Monitor and Output to play the sound of the transition. Click OK and you're done. Congratulations, you have created your own transition. And with that you almost have a complete streaming setup. You have an overlay, animated alerts and a great transition. The only thing missing now is a second scene you can switch to. Otherwise you would need a transition. That means in the next episode we will create a camera frame and small deco elements for the corners of your stream. After the next video you will have a scene in which your monitor recording can be shown in full size. So if you don't want to miss this and much more around animations and graphic design regarding streaming and YouTube, feel free to subscribe to this channel. If the video is already out, you can find it now here on the top right, and on the bottom right you can check out the whole Christmas playlist. A like would be greatly appreciated, otherwise I will see you in the next video. Bye!